Fifth Alteration Bill number 46, membership of the National Security Council to include presiding officers of the National Assembly, and Bill number 58, independent candidacy 2023. Mr. President, the Senate records that on Tuesday, the second day of May 2023, the Clerk to the National Assembly was directed to transmit Constitution Alteration Bill number 20, which is the uniform retirement age for judicial officers, after it met the requirement of Section 9, Section 2 of the Constitution, to Mr. President for his assent. Also recall, Mr. President, that Gombe State House of Assembly was among the state houses of assembly that were yet to forward their resolutions. Others are Jigawa, Kebbi, Kwara, Plateau, and Taraba State Houses of Assembly. Aware, Mr. President, that Gombe State House of Assembly has now forwarded its resolution, convinced that with the approval of the Gombe State House of Assembly, the Constitution Fifth Alteration Bill number 46, membership of the National Security Council to include presiding officers of the National Assembly 2023, and Bill number 58, independent candidacy 2023, have now met the provisions of Section 9, Section 2 of the Constitution for passage. Accordingly, Mr. President, the Senate resolves that the Senate do direct the Clerk to the National Assembly to transmit the bills, both bills, to Mr. President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of the Federation for his assent in line with the provisions of the Act's Authentication Act.
I have to have that judiciary working. At the moment, they work under very stressful conditions, and that is not the kind of environment that would expect optimum performance, especially when the numbers of the years that they will have to live is not looking very encouraging to them. So I want to commend the Committee on Constitutional Review, particularly the chairman and the man who wanted to usurp my presiding powers, and members of the committee for working so hard in the first instance, and then the State House of Assembly for agreeing with us. With this, I will put the question, those in favor of the only prayer, and the only prayer is direct the Clerk to the National Assembly to transmit the bills, and there are two bills, to Mr. President, Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of the Federation for his assent in line with the provisions of the Act's Authentication Act. Those in favor of this prayer say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. And I also want to mention here that this is another legacy that Mr. President and the 9th National Assembly can leave behind. And I imagine that Mr. President will have no difficulty assenting to these two bills because they are very straightforward. We are still working with the executive arm of government to see how the remaining 19 bills that we passed and the State House of Assembly also concurred that have not been assented to by Mr. President. These are very, very critical and important bills that will shape and support our democratic journey, and we hope that Mr. President and his team will look into them again before the expiration of this tenure.